Storyline, the topic we'll be handling is beware of enemies who disguise themselves as friends. So you sit back and then you listen to the story and learn something. It's actually a life experience, okay? All right, let's move on. Lady A is a very hardworking, vibrant, smart woman. She is in the marketing team in this particular company, name withheld. There are about four of them that makes up the marketers, and she happens to be the only female in their midst. The three males are Mr. Apple O. I have to put the names in this form. Mr. Orange and another Mr. Apple, but this time Mr. Apple B. Yes, two of them actually bear exactly the same first names. As usual, there'll be bickering, complaints, squabbles, sometimes outright outbursts among these colleagues. I will call it office squabbles. And they will still make up and then continue their works together. However, due to individual makeup, or will I say orientation, Lady A hardly let things go. The most dangerous part of it is that it will never reflect from her attitude that she is angry or bitter with you. She has bitter feelings towards Mr. Apple O, unbeknownst to anyone, for reasons best known to her. Maybe out of jealousy or envy or out of unforgiving spirit. Nobody knows. Meanwhile, her favorite team member is Mr. Apple B. In fact, it seems they are in a secret romantic relationship. Any office attack on Mr. Appleby is considered almost a direct affront to her, and she would take it personal. On this fateful day, something mysterious, or would I say something shocking, happened. The resumption time for the office is 8 a.m. So the staff are expected to be on time, as in they should be before 8 a.m. So sometimes they arrive 7 a.m., sometimes they arrive 7:30 a.m. before the resumption time. So they will always hang around one another, gist about what happened the previous day's activities, maybe their personal things as well. Then Mr. Apple O arrived and joined them in their conversation, and they were all still standing and gisting. While their conversation is ongoing, Mr. Apple O decided to perch on his desk while they were still having their breakfast talk, if I may call it that way. Mr. Appleby also was also involved in the conversation, and in fact they all got immersed in their gist. So Mr. Appleby drew out the seat that was meant for Mr. Apple O to relax and then continue their gist. Immediately he sat down. Something happened. He became a bit quiet. This is somebody who was already ongoing with conversation, somebody who was already vibrating in the discussion. Suddenly, he became quiet. Then the colleagues started wondering why the abrupt halt in his speech, and they discovered that his face was equally twitching. Oh my God. Before they could say Jack, he fell on the ground and became unconscious. Mr. Apple O and the other colleagues who were there rushed to him, calling his name. They were all running helter-skelter to call for a hospital ambulance. They were calling him, Mr. Apple, wake up, what happened? Hello, what happened? Everything happened so fast with the speed of lightning. Lady A just stepped in, only to discover his boyfriend lying unconsciously on the ground beside Mr. Apple O's seat. She screamed, "No!" This is not for you. Crying and kneeling beside him. I mean, Mr. Appleby. She was alerted. In fact, her screaming and utterance alerted every other colleague. In fact, at that moment, the colleagues started wondering, what is she talking about? This is not for you. Who was it for? What is not for you? Could it be she knew the cause of what just happened now? While they were still waiting for the ambulance to arrive, Lady A was still wailing heavily, crying beside her boyfriend. She was muttering some words and she confessed that she had rubbed a magical cream on the seat of Mr. Apple O to strike him with stroke. You know, Africans, that's what they are good at sometimes anyway. Only for his own Mr. Appleby to be the victim of her witchery plot. Mr. Apple O was dazed, speechless, lost in thought. Why would she do such a thing? Why would she go so far to plot such a devious act towards me? You mean I would have been the one lying helpless on the floor right now? What did I do? What have I done wrong? While all these thoughts were going on in the mind of Mr. Apple O, the ambulance arrived, and Mr. Appleby was rushed to the hospital. A few minutes later, he was confirmed dead. So sad. Sad ending makes me cry. Really. And that's it for today. I learned two things from this life experience. This actually happened to someone very close to me. So it's not a fictitious story, but I learned two things from it. The first one is that not everyone's smiling, not everyone eating, not everyone chatting with you. In your workplace, in your community, in your neighborhood, anywhere you are, is actually a friend. Now, the second lesson that I learned from there is that you should listen to your inner voice. It is called intuition. Once you feel something is not right, just heed to the propelling of that inner voice and act fast. Notice that Mr. Apple O didn't know that there was a devious plot against him. In fact, he would have been the one in that position. But while they were gisting, he decided not to sit on his own seat. He decided to perch on his desk while the conversation was on. Only for Mr. Appleby, who was the boyfriend of Lady A, to draw out the seat, who was also immersed in the conversation. He drew out the seat and then sat down and became a victim of evil that was plotted by Lady A. It's good to be prayerful. Yes, it's good to be prayerful. Listen to your intuition. Pray every morning. Pray every time, wherever you are. These are my own lessons. There are so many lessons that we can learn from this. If we want to talk about it, time will fail us. So I would like every one of you, my viewers, to please drop your own lesson on the comment section. Don't forget to like and share this video, okay? For you, my YouTube friends, Please like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so that whenever I prepare a new video, you will be the first to see it. I remain your presenter, Jenny Chichi. I'm gonna see you in my next video. Bye for now.